Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Baby Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday night. It's been a day here. We're just hadn't done much of anything today. Even though I did make a fruit run to the store for fruit, but that's about it. Because for some reason I can't allow myself to become out of fruit. But that's a me problem, right? But I was fortunate and received some Happy Meal today, so I'm going to show y'all that. I have been working a little bit on Will's old new blanket, his old Christmas present blanket, his new birthday blanket. So I've been working a little bit on this. So I finished up some rows in the cream color. This let me see if I can give y'all a rundown of what yarn I'm using here. Where is it? Here. Okay. I got things kind of stretched out here. Let's see. The cream is this Premier Basics in cream. One of my favorite acrylics. The main favorite being, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, because the other night when I was going through my yarn stash to look for yarn for Llama Mama Kayla's cardigan, I was like, what did I do? Buy Hobby Lobby out? Hobby Lobby yarn. I was like, holy cow, over half my stash is from Hobby Lobby. Oh Lord. Yeah, so lots of Hobby Lobby yarn. Anyway, I see in this other color is green. It's called Juniper, and it's also in the Premier Basics, and it's this beautiful green in Juniper. I don't know why I still had the plastic, but it was still in plastic. I have another 4 or 5 skeins of this, so it should be enough. Let's see here. And then I'm also using Lion Brand Basic Stitch Anti-Peeling in the color Two Pines. Now this one only has 153 yards in each skein, but I have several skeins of it over here in the cube on the bottom shelf that I've had for a long time. Because originally I think I had like 15 skeins of this. So plenty, let me tell you, plenty. So we should have enough for a very large blanket for Will. And that's the color I'm currently working into the blanket, is this, because originally this blanket was worked in the back and forth rows, you know, and I frogged it all and decided to do it corner to corner, and so that's what we're doing now. It has some size to it before I put it into a project bag and put it in the UFO stack. But so I'm probably going to lay this over the corner of my bed at some point so that I can figure out when I need to start doing decreases to get it as big as I need it. But it's definitely not there yet. But it's not going to take me as long as if I had continued with the big twist yarn that I discovered. The big twist yarn just seemed to be disintegrating as I used it. I mean, last night I tried to make a granny square with it, and it still just I don't know. There's something about it just gives me, it just feels funky. It just has a weird feel to it. I think that they've definitely changed. I'm wondering if Big Twist has changed their manufacturer or their processes, the process of how they make their value acrylic, because used to their value acrylic was super good, super soft, and easy to work with, and this, no, it feels wrong in the hand. It just feels wrong, and life's too short to work with yarn you don't want to work with. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna try. I got some other skeins in other colors. It may just be this particular color. So I'm going to try. I'm gonna pull the other ones out of the bags tomorrow probably, and see if it's just a color thing, or maybe it's a me thing. You know, could be a me thing. I've tried different hooks. I did try like 2 or 3 different hooks with this yarn to hopefully, you know, make it workable, and it wasn't, because I have like 2 or 3 different you know, hooks in the size, you know, the 6mm. I have, you know, like several 6mm hooks in different brands and different styles. So it's not like I couldn't switch hooks and, you know, and try to better my chances of being able to work with it, which I certainly did try that. and it, you know, just didn't work out. Now I have now I started this blanket with a 6mm clover hook, I'm sure, but I'm currently using this 6mm Susan Bates hook, and of course it's, you know, like butter. So I don't know what it is about me and these hooks right now, but I like these. I think I've just reached the point in my crochet journey where I'm more open to trying different types things, you know. So I think it just took me a while to get there. Once I think my joints recovered from my, you know, being 400 pounds and losing 160 pounds, and my joints have started recovering from all that weight that was on my joints, and, you know, the recovery in my hands, you know, I think has been something that I didn't expect to be a side benefit from weight loss. You know, I did not expect that to be a benefit. Of course, I'm not eating, what a lot of people don't realize is that certain foods are inflammatory foods. You know, certain foods, you know, in certain people will cause inflammatory reactions, will cause you to have pain in your joints, pain in, you know, parts of your body that normally you might not have if you weren't eating a particular kind of diet. And with the drastic diet change with weight loss surgery, I'm thinking that maybe I have somehow cut out something I was eating that was causing an inflammatory response in my system. So, you know, I can only think that maybe that's part of it. I don't have any scientific proof to back that up, only my experience. But I don't eat a lot of bread. I don't eat a lot of potatoes or pasta. I eat some pasta, really thin pasta, like angel hair. I don't eat thick pasta, or, you know, very little. And I don't eat a lot of bread. I try to avoid bread. But I think starchy things, you know, flour, a lot of white flour type things, could have been my inflammatory thing, because I noticed that when I avoid that completely, that's when my energy is kicked in. When I have zero bread and zero pasta and anything to do with white flour type things, that's when my energy level is at its peak, at its greatest, and that's when my joints and everything feel the best. When I'm not, you know, when I don't have any of that in my diet. But when I notice when I do indulge in those sort of things, that I pay for it. So, not saying that that's going to be the case with everybody, but that's been my experience. So obviously those things were bogging me down and causing me problems that I didn't know they were causing me problems. So, and I've cut way back on things with tomato in it. So, which tomatoes have a high content of sugar, and so, you know, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love tomatoes, but I can't eat very many of them because they start causing me nausea because of the sugar content. Now, mind you, strawberries and cherries that I've been eating by the bucketfuls also have high concentrations of sugar, but it must be a different kind of sugar. My body treats it different because I don't have problems when I eat, you know, because I'm eating big bowls of strawberries and cherries a couple of times a day, and that's not bothering me at all. I can eat that when I can't eat nothing else. So my body's just weird. To put it bluntly, my body is completely weird. So, and I eat like lunch meat. I eat this thinly sliced smoked turkey lunch meat with a slice of Munster cheese. I just roll them up together and eat it like that without bread. I do that quite often as well for a meal, or to just shut my stomach up, because I try not to let my stomach get too bad off into being really hungry, because I had an instance last week that I forgot to eat, and I got busy and I didn't eat for like most of the day, and then my sugar went and plummeted into the 80s, and it's never happened. I don't remember it happening because I was trying to crochet, and my whole arms and my hands were doing this. They were shaking to the point where I could not control them. They were shaking, and I was like, this feels like sugar. You know, this feels like a sugar bottoming out. Either or, you know, either too high or too low. But then I recollected that I hadn't eaten. You know, I hadn't eaten. And so I was like, well, let me check. I still have my little diabetic tester there, and it was 80 something. It was like, and my sugar has never been that low. My sugar usually runs between 1 and 115, somewhere in there. And according to my regular GP, my sugar's been under control. My A1C has been under control for months and been in remission. So it's almost like, because I'm eating the way I'm eating, I'm reversing it to, you know, that if I'm not careful, it can go back the other way and be hypoglycemic instead of diabetic. So the moral of that story is I have to be more on top of eating at regular intervals and not forget to eat, because that apparently is not an option, because it made me sick. It did. Once I did finally eat, and then after I ate, I ended up still feeling very nauseous, and my stomach did some flipping and flopping, and I ended up having to take a nausea medicine. And I know it was because of that because I drank some because I'm lactose intolerant, so no lactose chocolate milk that had some sugar in it, not a ton of sugar, but some sugar. And so I had some of that, and then I had some of the lunch meat with the cheese without bread, because I didn't want to overdo it. And so I had some lunch meat and cheese, and then I had some chocolate milk, and I got better really quick. So, but then once I got done eating and everything, I started feeling kind of nauseous, and I knew that was just things trying to level themselves out. Luckily, I have nausea medicine, so I was able to, get that under control before Ralph visited me. But not a fun trip. That was not a fun trip to go on. I promise you, it wasn't. So definitely, if you're considering the weight loss surgery, and do your research. And this was something that just caught me off guard, because I had forgotten to eat before, and then eaten late before and not had that happen to me. So this was something new that happened, and I'm not used to it happening. But I'm still under that year of healing, and of under that year of care that you go under when you have the surgery. And so my body's still changing and recovering from such a big change to my digestion system. And so I think there's probably gonna still be things that crop up that are gonna surprise me, and things I have to just roll with and adjust to, and making sure that I'm eating at regular intervals, and not forgetting to eat is gonna have to be one of those, because I've done it on and off my whole adult life, forgotten to eat, and just and played catch up later, and it not been such a drastic issue. But after having such a drastic issue, I'm going to just make a concerted effort not to do that again. So I just, and the way that my stomach has been ever since the surgery is I have to eat lots of mini meals. So every 3 to 4 hours I'm eating, and it's very little. I don't eat the 3 meals a day like normal people, or that the normal dietitian would suggest you do. I eat several mini meals throughout the day, because I can only eat so much at a time. And the way I do it is I eat until I'm not hungry. I don't eat until I'm full. I eat until I'm not hungry. And once that hunger pain goes away, I stop. And if I have food left on my plate or left on my bowl, I put it in the fridge and I eat it later. I don't stuff myself, because I've had that mistake before too, and then I ended up, only once did I overeat and end up sick. But it was enough. Once was enough. But the kicker is to just eat until your stomach stops being hungry. Not until you're full, but till you're no longer hungry. And that's a hard lesson to learn. You have to learn to eat to live, not live to eat. It's a very important distinction when you have weight loss surgery, because you have to have a divorce with food. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. When you're preparing for weight loss surgery and you're looking at doing it, you have to break up with food. Because food is the reason why you're even looking into weight loss surgery is because obviously you're extremely obese. Okay, because I'm still obese. Clinically, medically, I'm still considered obese because I'm 250 pounds, still at 5'4". Okay, I got about 60 more to go before I'll meet my goal. Okay, but I'm at the weight that I was when I was 25 years old, and I'm blown away by that. Completely blown away by that. But we didn't get, those of us that have had the surgery and had been morbidly obese, we didn't get that way by accident. We did it because we ate our feelings, or we had medical conditions that kept us from being able to move around freely and be able to exercise and move around and keep active enough to keep weight off of us. That had a lot to do with why I was so big, because I watched that show, My 600 Pound Life, and I watched what those people were eating, and I was like, I don't eat like that. I don't eat plate after plate after plate of food, just heaped with food. I didn't eat like that. So it didn't make sense to me why I was so big and versus them, because they were eating enough for 3 people. And I was eating just enough for me, but it's the inactivity that kept me big, the not being able to get up and move, because I was in so much agony with my lymphedema in my legs, my osteoarthritis in my back, lots of things that kept me from being able to get up and around and move and be able to be more active and lose weight. And so that's why it wasn't that I didn't think I could. If I would have been able to physically get up and go and work out and lose the weight that way, I would have done that, had that been an option for me. But I did the surgery because I physically could not do the exercising, because I weighed 400 pounds and it took everything I had to walk across the floor. You see what I'm saying? All that weight was so weighing me down so much that every step I took was pain. And that's what a lot of people don't get when you're that big. You don't want to be that. Nobody wants to be that big. Nobody does. Nobody wants to be that big. You don't choose that. You don't choose that. Life just happens to you sometimes. And it just happens. I wasn't 400 pounds until after my hysterectomy in 2012 due to uterine cancer. I had uterine cancer, and I bled every day for over a year. And I had to have a full hysterectomy in 2012. And luckily they got everything with the surgery, and I was fine. But it sent me headlong into menopause and hormone withdrawal, and that flipped my whole body, and I gained another 80 pounds. So that just made it even worse. And then, like, in 2014, I had a fall in a grocery store, and a month later I had lymphedema, because when they did my cancer surgery, they also took lymph nodes and damaged the lymph nodes in my lower extremities that circulate the fluid. And so that's what lymphedema essentially is when your lymph nodes in your lower extremities or wherever in your body have been damaged, the lymph nodes that circulate your fluid that have been damaged, and instead of enabling your fluid to circulate properly and keep and keep things moving properly, they clog up, and then they cause swelling in whatever limb or whatever part of your body that happens to. In my case, it was my legs, especially my left leg. So luckily with the weight loss, my legs have gone down extremely a lot, but it's not gone. I know it's not gone. I can feel it's not gone. The damage from carrying all that extra water weight on my legs for the last, nearly 10 years is still there. My legs still lock up. You know, if I sit too long, my legs will be very, very stiff. My back will be very, very stiff. So even though I've lost all this weight, does not mean my troubles are over. But it's a lot easier to bear. A lot easier. I'm not in constant agony when I get up or sit down like I was. Getting up or sitting down, either one, was hard. Just the act of getting up, standing up, or sitting down was agony. So having the surgery was just not having it, even with the opportunity that I had to have it, it wasn't an option not to have it. It's a chance I had to take to get my life back. I know a lot of people don't understand, you know, why you would do that. Why would you put yourself through that? Because trust me, it's a lot to go through. It is, the recovery. Because I didn't just have gastric bypass. I had hernia repair in the same surgery. So it was twice as difficult to go through. But I did it because I wanted to see what the other half of my life looked like. And I didn't feel like I was going to get to do that weighing 400 pounds. I felt like my life would be drastically shortened being that big. And what kind of quality of life was I going to have being in that kind of agony day after day? What would my quality of life be? It would not be great. It would not be what it is now. You know, in the vast possibilities that are available to me now. You know, the things that I always dreamed about doing that are now available, are now real possibilities for me. You know, I always wanted to learn how to salsa dance. I can maybe learn how to salsa dance now. You know, I always wanted to go, you know, on short hikes, you know, on walking trails and stuff. Now that's a possibility for me again, because I like the outdoors. I like the scenery, you know, things like that. Things are, you know, there are so many more possibilities available to me now that never would have happened had I not had the surgery. And I not put myself through that to lose all this weight. I really didn't come on to do a video like this tonight. I really didn't. It just kind of ended up going here. But just for you that are out there that may be on the fence about it, everybody has to make that decision for themselves. I can't make that decision for you. I can only tell you my experience and what I've been through, and that it was worth it to me. Sometimes financially, it's difficult for folks to go through it because they might not can get it covered through their insurance or Medicare or Medicaid. I was just fortunate to have Medicare and a Medicare Advantage program. I did have to come up with some money up front, which luckily I had some wonderful subscriber family members that placed sweater orders that helped me do that. So, you know, you just have to evaluate the pros and cons. And I promise you, the best thing to do is probably get a piece of paper and write down goods and bads on you know, pros and cons. Essentially, is what, you know, what would be the good thing that happened if you did it, and what would be the bad thing, you know, and see which list gets longer. If the good list gets longer, then, you know, think about it harder. You know, I don't recommend anybody just jump into that decision. I didn't jump into it. I had been trimming my diet and eating better and, you know, trying to do better about a year beforehand, before I'd even asked my doctor about it. So, because I knew it was something I was thinking about, but I wanted to try to start, you know, eating better and making better food choices before I even went into that, you know, because I had done my research and I knew it was sort of ahead of me. And I wanted to make sure I knew a little bit about what I was in for before I actually went down that road. So, that I suggest anybody do that. There's a whole lot of videos on YouTube by people like me that have had the surgery, that have a whole lot more information in them, more detailed information. And of course, you can definitely ask me any questions, and if I can answer them, I will. You can look up bariatric surgery. I know several doctors have Facebook pages. Several doctors have YouTube videos that give you very in-depth information and give you a rundown on what surgery is and what they do during surgery and all that. honestly, I didn't really want to know all the details and ins and outs. I just wanted to know what my recovery would look like. So I know they did some things, but I didn't want to be bogged down with those technical stuff. So I'm not a person that needs to know the gross details of what they did. You know what I mean? I know they rewired my digestive system. I know that they did that. And they made my stomach this big. So that's what I know. How they went about doing that, I don't care. I honestly don't care. It's worked for me. And sticking to what I'm allowed to eat has worked for me. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. A lot of people don't follow what the doctor says. They think they know better than the doctor, and they go off and go back to eating what they used to eat, and you can't do that. You just, you know, took your progress back, you know, months, and then you avoided your surgery and, you know, put yourself through all that for nothing because you didn't listen to your doctor. And now you're going to have complications from surgery that you wouldn't have otherwise had. So the moral of that story is to listen to your doctor, because most of them know what they're doing. And if you don't think the doctor knows what they're doing, get a new doctor. You know. But anyhow. So let's change gears. And I did get some happy mail from Lisa over at Getaway Crochet. And she sent me a beautiful homemade bag that she had told me a while back that she was making me. And I didn't know it was going to be so big. It's my colors, of course, the teal colors. And it's so beautiful. And it brought a tear to my eye that she took her time and her effort and handmade this bag for me. But look at this. Look at how beautiful that is. And it's got these straps on it with these hooks. You can take them off and wash it, she says. And then she put a liner in it. She hand sewn a liner in it. Isn't that wonderful? I really love it. I really, really do. I think that I will probably put Llama Mama Kayla's cardigan in this one to work in. That's what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use it as a project bag. And I will put Llama Mama Kayla's cardigan in it as I work it. And because it's just so wonderful. It's such a wonderful bag. I think it might be my favorite so far. I don't know. I think I got some sewn on sewing machine bags around here somewhere that were, you know, hand sewn on sewing machines, but not, I don't have any crocheted bags like this. I don't have anything like this. And so this will definitely be a prized possession. Trust me. I love homemade things. I love it when someone makes me something like this. It just means so much. And so I have put together the yarn I'm going to use for Llama Mama Kayla's cardigan. And I know I talked to y'all about the Big Twist Party yarn. This one. This is going to be the main color yarn. But I have, this color is, let me find it again. Candy. Which is absolutely appropriate. But I'm going to pair it with these other 4 colors. Yes, I'm going to really do it up. But I pulled, and yes, it's all Hobby Lobby yarn. Get over it. But I'm going to pair it with these, because all of these are in that yarn. And so let me go over with you the colors, and I'm just going to give you the specs on one. This color is called turquoise, of course. And this is 7 ounces, 199 grams, 355 yards, and 325 meters, 100% acrylic. It recommends a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, a 5 millimeter knitting needle. I'm going to use a 6 millimeter because I usually do. But yes, so this color. And let's see, this one is called, oh goodness, just regular pink. So pale pink. And let's see, this one is amethyst, a very nice pale purple, and hot orchid. Now I have a hot pink over here that I thought about using, and I might switch this one because this is really close to this. So I might switch this out for that lighter, this more intense pink over here. This pink here. I think I might swap them out. I don't know yet. I'll know when it hits me. I'll know when it hits me what I'm gonna do. Then I got the sparkly pale pink back here that I'm gonna probably use to trim everything out when I finish. Just give it a little, you know, twinkle. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm working on Will's blanket with all this Premier and then Lion Brand yarn. And talking about what I eat again. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Of course, if you didn't want to hear all that stuff, you could have fast forwarded to the end until I started holding up yarn again. But someone out there may have needed to hear that about weight loss and weight loss surgery that might be on the fence of deciding or not deciding to do it. But it's part of my channel. It's part of my journey. And it's a big part of my life. It's definitely something that is part of my lifestyle and part of who I am now. So I have about 50 or 60 more pounds to go. And then I'll be at pre-baby weight. I never thought that I would be looking at pre-baby weight again. But yes, here I am, about 60 pounds away from being pre-baby weight. Holy cow. Holy cow. Yes. So, anyway. And before I forget, I was able to chase down somebody today with Johnny's thing. I called, and they said, oh, you need to call Allegra. Who names their child Allegra? But okay. So I called, and they said, oh, no, here's her cell phone. Call her here. Okay, so I called her cell phone. When I first called, it said she didn't answer, and then her mailbox was full. But then I was like, okay, well, I'll wait about 30 minutes and I'll try again. But I didn't have to because she called me right back. And I told her who I was and what I was trying to do. And she's like, oh, she says, I can come see y'all next Tuesday. And I'm like, in the afternoon. And so we have a home visit for next Tuesday to talk about the plan for Johnny. How awesome is that? So after all this chase, finally progress. So that definitely made me very happy today that I was able to find that, get that done. So that's one thing off my list. And now we just have to clean the house. It's not that bad. It's just cluttered. It's very cluttered and dusty. The floors need to be swept and mopped and that sort of thing. But it's not that bad. It's just, you know, cluttery. Because I like clutter. It looks lived in, right? But it'll be fine. We'll get her done. And we'll get this thing done. And Johnny will be happy again. I think this will pep him up to have this on this ball rolling and things going. I think he's been a little bit concerned that this wasn't going to happen, but I feel energized about it now. So I feel more promise now than I did last week about it. Especially the fact that the ladies seemed to know exactly who I was and Johnny's name and made the appointment right on the spot and didn't hesitate at all. So apparently it was needed for me to call them back because who knows when they would have called me. So you just got to stay on people sometimes, I guess. But I don't mind. Anyway, I know last night's video was rather short. This one's rather long. Maybe there's some content that y'all didn't want to hear, but I don't know. Just mute me if you didn't. But thank y'all so much for watching all these videos 1,000 times over most of the time. I really appreciate it. And for the 30% of y'all that aren't subscribed, if y'all would hit the subscribe button, that would be wonderful, and that would help my channel out a lot. Now, subscriptions are free. Channel memberships start at 99 cents. So I'll leave that up to y'all. Now, the channel memberships is the join button. If you're watching on a mobile device, you will have to go to a browser like Safari or Google Chrome and log into your YouTube account via a browser to do the channel membership. Now, if you look in the description box, there should be a link in there that says if you want to join the channel, here's a link. So you can hit that link and do it that way, or you can do it on a laptop or a regular computer. but for some reason you have to go through a browser to do the channel membership, which starts at 99 cents. But subscriptions you can do on a mobile device with the YouTube app all day long without a problem whatsoever, and that doesn't cost you a thing, but it certainly helps my numbers. So anyhow, oh, and the like button, hit the like button, would you please? It never ceases to amaze me that I'll have 1,000 views and 200 likes, and I'm like, why? It takes 2 seconds to hit the thumbs up. 2 seconds. Anyway, I love y'all, and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue, and I'll see y'all next time.